Today, I'm going to tell you how I use hills to improve my Maffetone training. My name is Brendon, and if you're new to this channel, we talk all things running, from Maffetone training to shoe reviews. You will find it here on this channel, so if that's something you're into, consider hitting that subscribe button down below, and I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button. Helps with the channel a ton, and it's a super easy thing to do. So without further ado, let's get into why I love hills. So I'm gonna state the obvious, no one likes hills. Going uphill, it hurts your legs, you start to sweat a lot, you're crying because you see the tip of the hill and it seems so far away because you have to go so slow to keep your heart rate down. But I'm gonna tell you, within that pain, there is a glimmer of hope, and I'm gonna explain to you exactly how I use that glimmer of hope to keep me wanting to use hills more and more frequently in my Maffetone training. So I'm gonna break down how I use the uphill and how I use the downhill, starting with how I use the uphill to improve my Maff training. So first of all, I like to work on body awareness when I'm going uphill. The reason that I find going uphill specifically so beneficial for working on body awareness rather than just using the flats is that you're going slow anyway, so you have time to process and think what your body's doing and use that time to really focus on how your stride's going, work on your arm swing, and really focus on how your body's actually feeling in that moment. Take deep breaths and just realize that, yeah, your body's hurting, but it's not the end of the world. Make sure to keep track of your heart rate though, because that is the point of Maff training. But I do find that hills really help me become more aware of my body, how I'm feeling, and focus on having that proper stride and arm swing. So number one, I use uphills to focus on body awareness. And another great thing that I found about using uphill is that I really find that it works my muscles a lot more than just the flats. So of course, even though that I'm going slower up that hill, I'm still recruiting lots of muscles and it's hard. That's why you breathe so heavy and your heart rate's spiking, because you're working harder and your muscles are being recruited at a steeper amount because you're going against gravity when you're going uphill. Gravity is trying to pull you down, but you're not letting it keep you down. You're moving up that hill. Every step of the way, you're getting closer to the top, even though it seems pretty far away. But I do find that working against gravity does help me build stronger legs than if I were to just do flat roads. And you can tell, like, again, I'm gonna use Seth James Damore as an example. Look at his legs. His tiny little frame has massive legs because he's always getting that vertigo and recruiting those little muscles that may be missed if you're just going in a straight line on the road. So don't avoid hills because you're gonna get sexier legs. You're gonna get legs that are worthy of 2-inch shorts. That's without a doubt. Another thing that I focus on when I'm going uphill is nasal breathing. And why I do that specifically is because taking deep breaths allows you to keep your heart rate low. Now, here's an interesting thing that I've been finding through my Maff training. Let me know in the comment section down below if this is something you experience as well. When I take a deep breath through my nose and out my mouth, my heart rate can drop sometimes 5-10 beats per minute, just like nothing. I don't feel that I'm changing my effort at any amount. My pace isn't changing. It's just all in the breath. And I think one of the biggest benefits of Maff actually is building your running efficiency and your ability to breathe while you're running. So who knows, maybe that's partially why your heart rate drops as you do Maff training more often. Something to keep in mind. So let's do a quick wrap up of why I love the uphill so much. I love it for that body awareness. I can focus on my stride. I love it because it's building my legs and making them 2-inch short worthy. And yes, I can focus on nasal breathing, and I love it. I just love it. I'm learning how to breathe better. Now, on to the downhill, and this is where the fun starts. So the downhill, we know when we're going uphill, our turnover is gonna be slow. That's just the reality. Our stride isn't long enough to reach up that tall hill. We're gonna be going slow. Our turnover is gonna be slow when we're going up that hill, just the way it is. However, on the downhill, that is totally in reverse, and it's why I love the downhill so much, and probably why I like doing hills so much, because it's fun going down them. But what I find is that going downhill, I'm able to work on that higher, quicker turnover. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, one of the downsides of Maff that I'm finding is that I'm losing my ability to have quick turnover. However, by implementing hills, I'm able to keep that turnover quick and remind myself, yes, this is exactly what it feels like to have my feet turn at 180 to 190 steps per minute, maybe even 175. Like I've found that my turnover, my cadence is around like 165 to 170 on most of my runs now, when it used to be upwards of 175, 180 on a normal run. So yes, by using the downhill, I'm reminding myself how to have that quicker turnover, that higher cadence, and it's so much fun. It's just so much fun blasting down those hills. We all know it's a lot of fun. Not so much fun going uphill. Going downhill, that's a whole other story. And yes, that leads into the second reason why I love going downhill so much, and that's because I'm reminding my body what it feels like to go fast. Now this is, I don't know if this is like some weirdo out there type thinking, but I do think that as runners and as any type of endurance athlete, we need to remind our bodies what it actually feels like to go fast. It keeps us feeling comfortable in a race when we're going at that pace. We're not thinking, oh God, we're going too fast, we're gonna blow up. We know what going fast feels like, so we're able to keep on pushing because we have done it in training. And yes, going downhill has helped me remind myself what it feels like to go fast, and I love it. I just absolutely love it. And the last reason why I love downhill running is it's just because I love it. I love going fast and I find it very fun and enjoyable. There's nothing about it really. I just enjoy going downhill because I get to go fast and I love going fast. Yes, I do enjoy being out there and taking in the roses and looking at all the trees around me, but going fast is what I love and I'm able to get that going downhill. Something I've missed the most when doing MAF training, honestly, is doing my speed work. Now, I'm gonna talk about this in a future video, but I am gonna transition more towards that 90-10 or 95 balance of intensity, meaning I'll do 90% of my runs at like MAF level intensity, 10% at a higher tempo intensity, maybe mixing in some fartleks, that type of thing. I just see no point right now because there's no races. But anyway, yes, that is why I love hills so much and how I use it to improve my MAF training. I hope you got some value out of this. I really do. Let me know, do you like hills or do you avoid them? And if you're avoiding them, I would suggest just getting used to it because your body is going to get used to it and you're going to feel so amazing when you can run up a hill like it's nothing. Keeping your heart rate in that MAF range, it's going to happen. You just got to put in the work. All right, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a fantastic evening. Get out there, put on your shoes, and run up a hill.